Yo, what it is, what it is. It's the Black Love Renaissance, first ever live podcast. I got some special guests I'm about to bring in. Let's blast off.
Night and day and by your side, ain't nobody ever love you like this. This ain't no ordinary love, baby, this is one in a million. I wanna know you inside out, let me cater to you. Be alone together, you're my sweetest taboo. If I ain't got you, I'm lost. You're my good luck charm. Walked out of heaven and you stole my heart. Never knew what love like this. Rock my world is outstanding.
Welcome to the Black Love Renaissance podcast. I am your host, handsome guy named William, aka Brad Hampton. Hey, yo, bring it back, shorty.
I'm lost. You're my good luck charm. Walked out of heaven and you stole my heart. Never knew what love like this. Rock my world is outstanding. I'm lost. You're my good luck charm. Walked out of heaven and you stole my heart. I never knew what love like this. Making me high.
Welcome. Black Love Renaissance podcast. I have two great special guests in front of me. My first guest, Janae Anderson, wife, mother, entrepreneur, naturalista, Amazon best-selling author of the book I Love My Curls book. Hey, get them babies their self-confidence.
Okay.
Last but not least, she's a head coach. And what does that mean? Hey, ladies, when y'all want to get y'all half that crack, send it to rehab. And she gonna get you right. Janae Anderson.
Hello.
And her husband. He's a father, super serial entrepreneur, podcaster, owns the iBrand University, twice on the Breakfast Club, several 30 under 30s. Oh, four times on the Breakfast Club. I gotta catch up. Got the freegamealert.com. Number one best-selling author, not once, not twice, not four, not 8, not 10, not 14, not 16, but 18. Y'all gotta start pen game up. 18, and the last book is Sell It Like Jesus. Mr. Dave Anderson.
Yes, sir.
Did I do it any justice?
That was good.
Oh,
I was like, yeah,
good.
that was
Yeah.
good. That's good. I like that.
Okay, all right. I did all the research this morning, so I didn't know if I left anything out.
No,
Like I said, I didn't want to undervalue.
you did a great job, bro.
Mhm.
We're happy.
I appreciate it. All right, well, without further ado, let's jump right in.
All
How
right.
did y'all guys meet?
Wow. Well, you can thank public school for failing black children for us meeting. Listen, man. Look, I'm a
It's
Mensa.
long story.
Look, I'm a Mensa member. Long story very short. They had this program because they wanted to help the Negroes who went to schools where standardized tests like the SATs. Just culturally biased as shit in the 90s. And smart as I am, I got a 743 the first time I took it, and then I took it a second time. I got a 725. And yes, they spot you 400 points for writing your name.
Okay.
210 IQ, 745, and then I did worse the second time. So they created this thing called the Russell Conwell Summer Bridge Program. So we had to go. And in the process, you're around and you're automatically just looking for the black people, which were everywhere because all of us sucked at our SATs.
Right.
And I bumped into this guy named Frank, and then he had another class. He was like, "Yo, this class just got out. You got to see these twins." But I'm like, "Dude, they're twins."
Stupid remedial math.
Remedial math. He was like, "Y'all see twins?" And I was like, "All right, I'll go see the twins. Whoopity fucking do." And so I walk around the corner and I see Janine, which is her sister, and I was like, "Oh, she's cool." And then I saw this girl. And she had a dress that looked like somebody had stitched her in. It's a white dress.
You still remember that?
Yes, I do. Because now I was such an asshole, and I was mad because my mom wouldn't let me go to Grambling. I wore Grambling on my first day.
You sure did.
Oh wow.
I sure did. I had a Grambling outfit. I remember this. It was hot that day. We were across from the set.
And I remember that because back in the 90s, boy, if you ain't have one of them HBCU
basketball sets, you wasn't doing shit.
You wasn't nothing.
I had all of them. So,
Okay,
I
okay.
was with Gremlin that day, and Frank was like, "Yeah, those are the twins." I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Excuse me, my name's Dave Anderson, and I'm going to marry you." And she was like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, but what's that got to do with me marrying you?" You know what I'm saying? And so, it was literally a Keith Sweat song after that. There you go, telling me no again.
No, but tell the story. He put himself in the friend zone.
I did not.
Now, remind you, not only am I a twin, I am an identical twin. So him and my sister became like homies. Like they just hung tough all the time
To this day.
So we did everything together. So how do you move from, well, back then when you're young, I'm like, how do you move from the homie to the lover? Like that went hot. See, I wasn't gonna do that. Like it just was weird. Like to me at that time and point in my life. So yeah, you got to know.
No, see, first of all, everybody was trying to shoot their shot. So I wasn't going to be that dude. Not to mention me and her sister, we just clicked on we're exactly alike. That like identical twins, completely different personalities. Janine is more like me. If I had married Janine, we'd be divorced like 5 times over. It just but with Janae, it was a situation where I never wanted to be her friend. She was just always with like they're twins. Like they spent a womb together. You dig? So if me and Janine go for chicken wings, then me, Janae, and Janine is going for chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I was like, yo, like, look. And I was telling her, I said, listen, I know you like me. I like you. Like, we need to stop fooling around. We should go ahead and do this. And she was like, Dave answered, first of all, you say that to all the girls. I said, yeah, but when I say it to you, I mean it.
Yeah, you was trying to finesse, but you was trying to finesse everybody.
No. I wanted you because I couldn't have you. I wasn't going to settle, so I didn't commit to nobody because you were the one.
But you shouldn't have though back then.
And I didn't. I was a serial dater.
It be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
It was like that for 4 years.
But you had your eye on me
all whole time. And when you left,
man, shit. I never understand.
Her ass just left.
Sure did.
Oh wow.
She left. So I lived my life. She lived hers, and I still kept in touch with my best friend. Every once in a while, we talk. I wound up being with a person I only refer to as Godzilla.
Ooh, yeah, that's what we call our exes.
Yeah, Godzilla, because
they don't deserve a name. They don't deserve that.
All she did was just body the little people and tear shit up and didn't really do anything good in her wake. You know what I'm saying? Like even her nachos was mediocre. Anywhere and anyhow, she could not stand Janae and Janine. Them twins, huh? Mm-hmm. She probably wants you. I'm like, if Janae wanted me, it would have happened in 96. You know what I mean? So anyway, anyhow, I got out of my situation, and then she was still in her situation with her Godzilla.
Right.
And then so my best friend hits me when I come home, and I'll fast forward through all the dumb stuff. And she says, I'm getting married. And I'm like, okay, cool. When can I threaten the guy? And so I met the guy. He was cool. I was like, I said, all right, cool. He's cool. And she was like, listen, we're going to go troop to Michigan to go see my mom and my sister. I said, your sister? I thought she was out of the country. Oh, no, that didn't work out. She's back. I said, yeah. Yeah. She was like, so you want to go? Yes. And we drove. So we get to her apartment, and she had a walk up, right? So my best friend's husband, then my best friend, and then she's like, who else is that coming up the steps? And I'm like, surprise. Next thing you know, I told her, I said, listen, this is what it is, and so on and so forth. And I mean, we're skipping a lot of stuff, but the basic part of it is we went out and walked my sister-in-law's dogs in the rain, and I told her I didn't want to live without her, and she was like, look, well, I got baggage. I said, we just gonna have matching luggage, but I don't want to live this life without you. And we kissed, and we've been together ever since.
Yeah. We did. We were like, what, married within what?
Shit.
A year?
A year.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wasting no time.
Mm-hmm.
You see this? No.
So on the approach, what was your initial attraction? Was it like something like a commonality you saw, or was it like an opposite?
No, you talking about her or me?
You talking to or both of us?
When you approached her, like when you was gonna marry her.
When my father met my mother and my mother tell the same story. It's one of the few things that they tell exactly the same, right? My mom was dating a New York Jet. She found out that the Jet was married when the Jet introduced her to his wife. So she was like, drowning her sorrows and whatnot. Friends said, let's go to a Christmas party. My dad just worked a double shift, 24 hours. His friends was like, yo, you going to a Christmas party? He was a cop. He was like, I don't feel like it. They both decided to go reluctantly. My mom walked in the room. My dad was charming and holding court, really good with his mouthpiece. And he turned his chair around and looked at her. And he said, I got this feeling all over my body. And I haven't had it before, and I haven't had it since. And I said, well, Dad, what does it feel like? He said, when you know, and it doesn't matter anything else. Like, he was like, I never remarried your mama, and I guarantee your mother will never remarry. And sure enough, my parents divorced when I was 3, but neither of them never remarried. And my mom lives in the same exact spot that they picked out on a vacation when they were well into their marriage. So when I saw Janae, I knew what that feeling was. And I haven't felt it for anybody in the time that I first met her up until the time I walked up those steps and I saw her again. It is a feeling. I feel it when she walks in a room, and I can't explain it. I don't know if anybody else has it. I don't know if it's a sixth sense, but I feel centered when I'm with her, and I like still to this day, it's like goosebumps and an orgasm at the same time. It's the only way I can like describe it to you, but just no mess.
I mean, give you some horns for that.
Like, it's the only way I can. It's the only way I can. I love the hip hop horns. Yeah. That's it, man. I knew. It just took her a little while to catch up. I'm from the future. You should listen to me.
Okay, I got you. What are y'all age difference?
369 days.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And he just lives by that.
I like older women.
So I'm a cougar by 1 year, I guess.
You're a cougar cub.
So how long have you been married at this point?
God.
We'll be going on what
9 years?
9 years.
Yeah.
9 years in September.
Well, this month.
Well, this month.
End of
Yeah,
the
we
month.
are in September.
Damn.
Okay.
Hey.
So before y'all got married, how long did y'all live together?
Shit. Not even. See what it is.
Not even a year.
Not even May, June, July, August, September.
Maybe
5 and a half months.
Yeah.
Like 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all was engaged for 1 year?
No.
Probably a little less.
A little
than
less
that.
than that. Probably like 9
Yeah.
months.
Oh, 9 months. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I get a lot of flack for this question, but I'm going to find the answer I'm looking for.
Come on.
This is for Janae. So
Okay.
what percentage did he help plan the wedding? Because I know it wasn't 100%. I know it probably wasn't 50, but I'm going to find a guy that did 50%. So what was his percentage of planning the wedding?
Well, you know what? Initially, we were going to do a destination wedding, because we're both Scorpios, and we only wanted people there that we knew deserved to be there. People we have known for a very long time, family, those types of things. So we both kind of came up with that idea because we wanted to go somewhere exotic. But as time went on, it just became less important about where we did it and when. We just did it, because we're living here. So he did contribute, I would say 50%, honestly, because he found we doing everything because we were going to do it in Turks and Caicos. Yeah, that was the plan, and he came up with that. So, but I was the one doing all the the decorations and what package we were going to choose, and because he's a dude, he didn't feel like doing all that type of stuff.
I called the lady, I got the information, I had the photographer, the same guy who did Jill Scott's last album, Jason Hudson. Is a really good friend of mine. He was going to come and do the wedding photography and whatnot. Like, I knew that was just going to be the simplest thing. Not to mention, when the people who don't want to really wish you well, but they just want to be there to talk shit, you're not flying to Turks and Caicos, partner.
Right. It ain't happening.
So you automatically eliminate yourself. Y'all can watch the stream or y'all can send gifts. But that's what it was. And either way, we still had a very intimate wedding, and I was happy about it. You know what I'm saying? So
it was perfect. It was us. It was small. It was quaint. Right. His boy was the one that married us. So I mean, we had everybody there. I mean, it was dope. It was small. It was just us. I don't even think we had 10 people.
Nah,
I don't even think it was 10 people there. But it was dope. You know what I mean? Like I remember, and we was broke as hell.
We was so fucking.
And
broke.
I remember going to the dollar store and getting, like in the flower section.
Yeah.
We had the fold out white chairs. Boy, we hooked them chairs up.
We showed it.
Let me tell you, man, we had our cakes. We were in love. Like, like when you get down to it, is it about the wedding or is it about the love?
Right.
And for us, was about the love. Like we could have got married in tracksuits and some Air Force Ones. Like we don't care. Like it just, you know, it was dope. He went and got his hair cut that morning. I went and got my hair done.
Sure did.
We came back, got dressed,
and that dress
got it popping,
bro. That dress, yeah. Listen, and I'm gonna tell you, wrote our vows, yeah. And like, I didn't cry. Everybody thought I was gonna cry. I'm like, yeah, Phil Collins. I can feel it. I've been waiting for this moment all of my life.
Right,
bro. I did not cry. And for me, like I tell people all the time in business, like, I will change and pivot in a heartbeat because I ain't married to nobody but Janae. That's not a line. It's the truth. Like the only thing I can't or don't want to live without is her. I could leave anything. I don't care about you or nobody else. Yeah. I'm hot now. When I fall off, she's still gonna be here.
Right.
That don't happen.
Right.
But if I'm going all in on somebody, I'm going all into her. You want to know why? Can I tell her about she about to be mad as fuck at me, and I don't give a fuck. So when we got pregnant with Devlin, our youngest, right? I was coming back because she needed me to run for something before I went to work because I was working a sucker job. It's probably the last sucker job I worked, and I was getting out, and I guess this guy in the truck wanted that spot. So he came out and he was getting his Karen on. He was pre-Karen. He was getting his Ken on.
His Ken, right.
And I was about to fuck him up. Because he was, you know what I mean? Like he was trying me like I'm not from the hood because we up here not in the hood. And all I hear is, Dave, just get in the car, go to work. I'm like, all right. She's like, I'm pregnant, get in the car, go to work. I said, you're right. So I get in the car, and no sooner did I put the door closed, was Janae up in this dude's face like, yo, bop, 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 bop. And she was like 5 months pregnant,
I'm
homie.
pregnant and I'm mad and I'm hungry.
She just wanted her food.
You wasting my time, man.
Food's in the house. Now I gotta beat your ass, then eat. So now I'm double hungry. But the thing of it is,
all I wanted was my chocolate bar.
All I wanted was what Bruce said in 2000. Bruce said in 2000. If you want to fight, we in a fight.
Listen,
right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I don't ever have to worry about anybody having my back. I ain't got to worry about whether you like me. My number one fan is my best friend. My best friend is my lover. I ain't got nothing to worry about. This is the person I people watch with. Like this, you know how people say this is my everything, and that don't mean that we don't fight or we like we Scorpios.
But I think what works for us more than anything, and we joke about it, you know, you being in the friend zone and me feeling that way. But I think that is what makes us click because before the romance for so many years, like we were friends, you know what I'm saying? And when you're friends with somebody and there's not sex and all that complicated shit mixed in there, you really do get to know a person for truly. I seen him do his dirt. I mean, I just do everything about. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So it wasn't no shit. I knew exactly what I was buying into, and I knew at the bottom of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like this was a good, you know, a good dude. You know, and he was the first dude that kind of came with like, listen, this is what my intentions are. Like, this is like, he like, you sold the hell out. And it left me like, oh, okay. No. Like it was a different feeling, you know, and here we are.
Yep. So, you know, it's like this. I came at her with the plan because I was like, I'm not going to let you, like, if you want to be single, cool, but I'm swinging for the fences. You either coming with me or we just or that's just it, and I'm just going to be the worst fat bastard out here. I'm gonna make Rick Ross look like Bishop Desmond Tutu out this bitch. But like, I'm going for it. This is what I want. This is what I expect. These are my dreams. I can't promise you shit. I'm living in my brother's garage, but I guarantee you I will make you happy. I will figure it the fuck out, you know, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming with, yeah, baby, I'm gonna hit that hard from the back. I mean, that's there, but that's not, that wasn't in the plan.
That WYD.
All right, before we move on, hey Dave, I'm gonna need you to pick up all the names you just dropped.
What?
All the names you just dropped there, I need you to pick them back up.
No, I wasn't dropping names of people I knew. I was talking about like just metaphors, man.
No, I'm just saying you dropped your Sky, you know, the dude that did her video. That's a lot of name dropping.
Bro, I do what I can. It's all right. That's what I do. You have to get used to it. I'm not changing the program now.
I'm with you. So what's the children's situation like? How many do you have kids together or any outside kids?
Well, yep. I have I had a daughter. She is 21. She's a senior right now at Howard University. So when we got together, she was what about 11?
Yeah, about 10, just turned 11.
10 just about turning 11. And then fast forward 5 years ago, we had a daughter of our own.
Yeah.
So we got one that was already there, mine, and then we had one together. So
Right.
we got 2 girls.
Yep.
Okay. My next 2 questions are going to be for Dave. So
What's up?
coming into being a step parent, how did you define that role?
I don't know what that is.
A step parent?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me
Let me put it to you this way, right? Like, you got to understand, my mother had my brother. My brother's 7 years older than I am.
Okay.
I didn't hear the term step parent until I got to college. What the fuck is a step parent? I didn't know what it was. The only step thing I ever heard of was like the Stepfather, like the horror movie. So that was it. Other than like fairy tales, I had no reference to that. Like I didn't find out my father wasn't my brother's father until like I was in 3rd grade. I was like, who the fuck is Brent? I don't know that nigga. Like, this dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? My dad was my brother's real dad because that's the only dad he ever knew. And then my whole thing is, if this is your child and that child came from you and you love that child, and I'm gonna love that child. I can't love Janae's lips and not love her eyes. I can't love, her ass and not love her heart. So for me, it was a matter of, the second I met this kid, she was mine. Like, I was like, what are we doing? I want to go out and eat. Okay, cool. What you want? Like, what happened? No, I want ribs. You want to split? No, I want a 10 rack. I was like, oh yeah. We good. She loved everything I love. Video games, comic books. This shit was easy. So, like, you have those moments where you have to adjust and blend because, like, no, we're not staying in Michigan, partner. We coming to Philly because, like, I'm hot in these streets. So that's what it is. But other than that, man, everything that would normally happen between a father and a daughter has happened. You don't listen to me, Dad. Yeah, I'm not supposed to. I'm the world. She's the nurturer. You know what I'm saying? She's the bubble. I'm the needle. Like, you need both. And so, I love her and I fight with her and I root for her and I give my life for her. Like I would my own biological child. They don't know the difference. Nobody ever does it. There's no half siblings and none of that other dumb shit. That's my child.
Okay. Right, so my second question would be, her being a twin, were you a little nervous finding out she was pregnant and it might be a twin? Because normally I
was hoping. What the fuck is you talking about?
Oh, really?
You don't understand. They told us, twins were on my grandmother's side too, like my mama's side.
Oh, okay.
So like I was hoping because they told us for 3 straight years that it wasn't going to happen mathematically between the issues that I had and the issues that she had. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't going to happen. Like, we wanted the kids so bad. Like, there was a time when we was riding the bus and still trying to have it. Like, IUDs, fertility specialists, like, we did the whole 9. They told us 3% chance. And they said, well, sometimes if you just let go and focus on each other, and we've seen miracles happen. I'm like, oh, you hear this bullshit they're giving us right now? Like, they're telling us 3% chance. Like, I'm mad. Like, you ever be so mad as a man you cry angry tears?
Yeah.
That's the best you got. Miracles happen. So fast forward to June 26th, 2014. Is the afternoon. I had the day off. Things happen. And a couple weeks later, she goes to see her sister, and she was like, "Yeah, we had something. We went and had fondue before she left, and she's like, maybe it's the fondue, but I'm not feeling good." And her sister says, "Yeah, you probably pregnant." We was like, "The fuck out of here, 3%, nigga, like 3%." So I come home from work, maybe about 4 or 5 days later, and she gives me a test. Now, keep in mind, we're assholes to each other, so we will prank each other with really fucked up shit, and you can get a positive test on like eBay.
Right.
I was like, this is an elaborate hoax. So we went and we got some other tests and it all came back positive. I went in that doctor's office. I was like, 3%, huh? It's like, we told you miracles. I was like, bet. So for me, I wanted twins. I wanted a family because I didn't want to be the person that didn't procreate. That wasn't important to me. I was off seeing the world and shit. And then all of a sudden, when you find the one, you want to keep this. You see this? I'm trying to keep this going.
Right.
So yeah, like to me, I wanted as many kids as possible. I really want to this day. I want a son. You know, just to carry my name. But like my daughter's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Both of my girls are great. You know, I would not be successful without my kids.
Right. Yeah, everybody keep telling me I should try for a son. I think I'm gonna give up on it.
No, homie. No, you keep plugging. No, we don't give up.
I don't know. I mean, 20 and 14, I'm almost done. Just almost done.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah, I really want to start over. I don't want to go back to diapers and screaming.
Yeah, you at the finish line, but never say never.
Listen, I'm looking in group homes right now. Find the least
we
fucked up
there,
kid. Come on, Lamondre.
I guess adoption could work. It could work. All right, so let's step back in time. Can we talk about both your upbringings as far as like your parents' household you grew up in, siblings, family size, and your traditions?
Yeah, I I have an identical twin. Grew up in a 2-parent, nuclear family, probably up to about the age of 4. My parents split, dad remarried, had 2 other children. So it was pretty much 3 musketeers from there. My dad was in the service, and he had his other family, and for a period of time him and my mom was just kind of they were just at each other's throats all the time. So did see him, dad did provide, did pay child support, we had whatever we needed, but just their relationship there kind of made that a bit strained. So that's pretty much how I grew up. We would spend summers with dad, and my mom had moved. That's how we got to Philadelphia, because after my mother divorced, she moved and relocated, because we come from a very small town, like an hour outside of Detroit, Michigan. And my mom came here and started her life over. Thank God she did, though, and it had my mom just exposed us to a lot more than what we probably would have been exposed to in a very small town, where there wasn't many Black folk, people, sometimes, and that's not everyone, but small town, sometimes you have a small mind. People only know what they know. They don't really travel outside of that city and get that exposure. So my mom always was that person, even though she was born there. She always had that mindset, like, this is not the end. There's so much more outside of this town. So she made it her mission, to get us some, to provide particular opportunities for us. So that was pretty much like, my upbringing, seeing dad on the weekends, and that was pretty much it.
I come from a big family on both sides. My mom's parents, my maternal grandparents, they started their family in the Richard Allen Projects of Philadelphia. And my grandfather, with a 6th grade education, moved up and became one of the chief managers at a company called the Bud Company, and moved them out the projects, and then started buying up properties. So my grandfather was real, salt of the earth, work with your hands type of dude. Went in the Navy, lied on his application because the Klan was going to kill him, because he knocked out 2 dudes who tried him at like 16, 2 grown-ass white men, and they came through the night. So my grandfather in Virginia ran through the night and made it to a naval recruitment station, and that's how I'm here. He went to tailoring school. While he was going to tailoring school, my grandmother was getting her certification for teaching, and they were in the same school. The ill shit about it is my grandmother's best friend wanted to holler at my grandfather, but she was too shy. So my grandmother went over to him, and he was like, "Yeah, she nice, but I want you."
Oh, wow.
8 months later, they was married. 9 months after that, my Uncle Jimmy popped out, and then 10 months after that, my mama came. So like my grandmother had like six kids and whatnot. 7. Forgot about Uncle Ray. And then my dad comes from South Carolina. My grandmother was born on a farm. Was fair, got darker in her older age, but was a fair-skinned woman. Could pass, And long story very short, I had 7 uncles and 1 aunt, and big family, but I was the last Anderson of that generation. And my parents divorced when I was 3, but I saw my dad like every week. My father was in law enforcement. He did like federal and all that type of stuff. My mom was a teacher, hairstylist. They both were entrepreneurs. My daddy bought a store. My mother created what now is known as the Girlfriend Experience in salons, with the cheese tray and the champagne and the TV while you wait, get manicures while you wait, all that type of stuff. My mom was doing that way back in the 80s. And if she had me, she'd be a billionaire. But, so I had lots of love. You know what I'm saying? I had lots of great experiences. My brother got more of the nuclear shit than I got, but overall, like my main thing was like I had values. Like if something was going down, if I was fucking up, my daddy was coming down in his Cadillac to fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? If I was doing right, like I remember being on stage at events and my pop would just pop up. He'd be there like, hey, sing that shit, boy. So I had that, and my mom was just amazing because she ran one kid to basketball practice. He won 2 championships. She ran another kid to the radio station, so my mom quarterbacked the situation, but my dad was definitely offensive and defensive coordinator.
Okay.
So
Okay, go ahead.
I love the analogy.
yeah.
So with both of y'all upbringings relatively the same but kind of different, how much of that do you bring with you into your relationship?
Whoo.
Ooh.
We eat the meat and discard the bones.
Yeah, I think so. I think that we always joke and say that we have matching baggage. Growing up mainly, in a household with my mother, of course, I'm accustomed to being very independent minded. You understand, knowing how to hustle, knowing how to take care of things. My dad was really good at teaching his girls how to fix cars, change tires, change oil. I mean, like anything like that, fix things around the house. So I was one of those girls. So I was sort of somewhat of a loner, and I was accustomed to like just being able to handle my business. And it took some self-searching to be able to open up and trust and give that up and say, okay, because, even though I can do these things as a woman, when a man comes into your life, you got to give him space to be a man. You understand what I'm saying? And for him, it was a bit of a shocker because I could go out there and change the tire. Oh, you're tired. You know what I mean? Oh, so he wasn't accustomed to that. I wasn't like the damsel in distress. So those certain qualities at time we would clash, but then, when we learn how to sort of work that out, it works, you know what I mean? Because he knows if something happens to him, I got it. But I had to learn to soften myself, though. I guess that's what I'm trying to say a bit, because don't no man want no quarrelsome woman. Don't no man want to feel like you have no need for them. So I had to allow him to play his part, and that's exactly what we did. We had like this coming to Jesus talk, like this is what I need to do, and this is what I need you to let go of. Like you straight, like you can trust, you can trust this process. And once I did that, it was much easier. I think that was for me, that was a big sort of a big thing to sort of kind of let go of. But
I mean, for me, I come from a background where, I had a mom who was like her. You know what I'm saying? Like could fix a car, could drop a catalytic converter, take care of the engine, the whole nine. Like my mom was that work. Like, oh, your muffler's dragging, I got you. Hold up. Where's your skateboard? Like my mom was that. You know what I'm saying? My mom worked on an assembly line, making TVs and driving buses to put herself through Cheney University. Like my mom is no joke. Okay. So I'm used to that energy. However, my whole thing is that sometimes with that energy where my mom, I feel went wrong, and this is just my opinion. I wasn't there and I didn't live her life, but as her son, I have a perspective, and my perspective is where my mom went wrong is it's okay to be able to wield the armor. Like knowing karate don't mean that you got to fight every time somebody comes in a room. Right. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that can be a bit much. And sometimes when you have somebody that has a kind, soft energy because he doesn't have to fight because he's got guns and a badge. Right. Like that, don't take that for anything other than that he's choosing to be at home. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes because my dad was a lot like me and I had to watch myself because my dad is like, listen, I ain't married to shit. Like if you ain't, and I told her this straight up and down, like, I want your happiness more than I want this marriage. So if at any time you like, boom, this is my stop, I got to get off.
Sign her.
I will wish you well and I will love you, because guess what? Any person who leaves Dave Anderson is a person in search of a Dave Anderson. So I'll wait for you to come back. Look, I was right on July 6, 1995. I was right on September 10th, September 29th, 2011. I'm going to be right to the day I die. Whoever comes after me has such hard shoes to fill. I know what I bring.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And you say whatever you want about my daddy, but my mama never remarried and she never changed her name.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like I come from a tough act to follow, but I also had to remember that if you love somebody, it's okay to say I need you. I don't have to protect myself from her the way I protect myself from the world. Because the world, like the difference between her and the world is she's actually in this with me. The world just comes along when I'm popping. I've seen it. Like I've produced television, bro. Like I've done.
You had a hard time
like,
with that too.
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. It was a lot, because for me, all I've learned from my life experience and my career experiences, people love you when you're here, but the second you start to dip, they will drop you like a bad habit. And that goes for friends, colleagues, co-workers, and especially romantic relationships. So you ain't like, I'm with you, but
the minute something
right.
So much so that, you know, when Godzilla left me homeless, I had what I call a jump bag. You know what I'm saying? With like a week's worth of outfits, brand new toothbrush, burner phone, like all this shit. So one day we were engaged and we were planning the wedding, and Jane was coming in from the grocery store. She's like, "Babe, I asked you something." I said, "What?" She's like, "I took your truck and there's this bag in it. What's with the bag?" I was like, "No, don't worry about it. It just stays there. Like, it's nothing." No. Like she was like, "You ever see Seven with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman?"
Yeah.
He was like, "What's in the bag?" And I was like, "Look,
we can see this bag like all the time. Like we clean out the car, and this bag would never leave the trunk." And I just got too funny, like, because I'm not the nosy type in that way. You know what I'm saying? Just like, this is the bag. I just figured it was like, you know, whatever, you know, he kept in there. And I just opened the bag. Something told me to open the bag, and it's like packed. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" So I was like, "What is this bag for?" He was like, "In the case that you kick me out."
Real rap.
Negro, like, where they do that at? Like,
listen,
who gonna get that mad where you gonna kick somebody out of home that you built? Like,
right.
Even on the worst day, like I could never had a heart to do that to someone. Like, dang, like it ain't that serious. And then it was really sad, you know, because it's like we never had that type of rapport, you know what I mean? Like rapport with one another. Like if I got angry, oh, get the F out the house. Like we never do those types of things with each other, you know? So it was really sad that the trauma that sometimes people experience, they can bring that, you know, into relationships and still at some level not feel safe, you know?
Right.
Yeah, right. I treat it like, you watch Iron Man, right? You know how like every time you see a new Iron Man movie, he fixed what was wrong with the last suit.
Right. Yeah.
That was my thing. Like, okay, last relationship, I wasn't prepared for this shit. I was washing my nuts in the gas station sink. I had to sleep at my homeboy's house, and then his daddy got sick, so I had to, you know, go back out, wash my nuts in the. I'm not doing that no more. So I'm gonna have me some wet wipes. I'm gonna have soap. I'm gonna have all this stuff. I got my gym membership up to date in case I need to shower in the gym. Like I had everything set in case all of a sudden something happened. Because what I've learned is that if you love somebody long enough, they'll either leave you or vilify you. And that's just what it is. Like my daddy died, my grandmother died. Like everybody who was 100% Dave Anderson advocate with very few exceptions has either left or died.
Okay.
Which taught me that love was conditional. You know, so fast forwarding back to the bag and shit, she was like, "Listen, like this," she's like, "I love you." Like, and keep on, I'm a foot and an inch taller than her, right? She's like, she reached up and she was like, "I love," she put my head in her hand. She said, "I love you. I ain't going nowhere. If we got a problem, we'll figure that shit the fuck out. But if you don't go to that fucking Jeep and get that goddamn bag and unpack all of that shit, we gonna be scrapping. I will put your ass in a headlock." I said, "Honey, I've wrestled the Big Show." She said, "Unpack the bag and I'm gonna put your ass in a headlock and see what the fuck I mean." And I went in and I unpacked the bag, and I'm tears flowing down my face because like this is not my bag. This is my security blanket. This is letting go of the last thing that keeps me 1 foot out the door just in case. So
Right,
now
right.
I'm really all in. No matter what, I'm all in. I might fuck up, but I'm all in. And then she was like, all right, cool. She's like, now you got to get down on your knees. So she's like, get on my knees. And she puts me in a headlock and I'm like, you know, she got me. Like, and I've wrestled people. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Like I said, if we in a fight. So yeah, like, you know, we've learned to get rid of our baggage as best we can, and it's a process.
Yeah, it takes time. You gotta be patient.
Right. So with all that being said, so how big of a factor is each other's individuality in the relationship?
Ooh,
That's a good question.
yeah,
I would say extremely important.
it is.
Listen, the last thing I ever want somebody to be like is that's Dave's wife, and last thing she wants is that to be that's Janae's husband. Like, we are who we are.
Yeah,
Collectively, we're the Andersons. Individually, we are who we are. We're completely different people. You know, she has certain goals in business that I don't have. I have certain goals in business that she doesn't have. You know, but I share in her desire to achieve what she wants to achieve, and vice versa. You know, you gotta have a sense of individuality.
Definitely.
And we was working from home way before COVID.
Yeah.
So, you know, for us, it's like, okay, this is another day that ends in AY. But you, with that, when you're in the same house and you're working towards things, you have to kind of, you know, compartmentalize. And there's times we'll talk about something. She's like, look, right now, I just need you to be my husband. I don't need no, I'm not a client right now.
Right.
I don't need no advice. I don't need no motivational presentation. I just need to vent, okay? Like, let's just be David Janae venting right now. And I'm like, all right.
It's like, who are you today?
Right. Like,
in this moment.
Which hat am I putting on? You know, and vice versa, man. Like, I'll tell anybody, I've made a lot of money in my day, but I've never made as much as I made with her.
Okay.
You know, and that doesn't mean that she's pulling the strings. It means that she gives me space to work the stage. You know what I'm saying? And I try my best to do the same for her, you know, but I want Janae to be Janae. Because if something happened to me, she's still going to be Janae.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and she's dope on her own. Like, I saw John David Washington give an interview. And the interviewer is a rude white woman. I don't know her name. Don't care. But she was like, yeah, you know, so you're the son of Denzel. He was like, and Pauletta. Like, when Denzel was in school, Pauletta was working 3 jobs. Pauletta did this. Pauletta was like, no, you need to go on that audition. Pauletta was like this, that, and the third. Pauletta provided this, that, and the third. So there's no Denzel without her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no business bully without Janae. Like, Janae has saved several clients from being fired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because she's like, be a little bit more patient.
Right.
Like, all right, that's fine. Or you need to get back to yourself. You too deep in the work shit. I'm gonna need you to find some fun. When's the last time you did something? I would cry. Let me tell you how fucked up I am. I would cry at the idea of buying shit for myself. Because keep in mind, the beginning of our marriage, you know, and all of our relationship, I was poor. Like, I was okay, like, for me, but like, you know, so I was always like, I don't want the bottom to fall out, because if the bottom falls out, then what's she gonna stick around for? And then everybody who has something to say, and there's a lot of people who had something to say, would have been justified. So I was like, I always want to keep something, and I don't want to go out here and buy myself some fly shit and then the bottom fall out, or there's an eviction notice or any of that dumb shit. So when I would buy shit, like, she and Dory, this is before Devlin, would celebrate the fact that I bought something for myself. You know, and I would feel guilty. She's like, well, you stop feeling guilty. Now I don't feel guilty buying shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I had to learn that, you know, because that lack mentality, you know, can fuck you up.
Right. So what plan on still going on with the individuality? So do y'all like split hobbies, or do y'all make sure that y'all have some hobbies together?
We there's some things that we do together. One of the things we have in common, we both are foodies. We love to eat. So a lot of our best times and conversations over drinks and food. I mean, it's that's the core, you know, source of communication for most people. But that is what we do. We will go somewhere and have us a good meal. You know, now that we're quarantined for many months, you know, we'll have those types of moments here in the house. You know, we learn how to cook something together.
Yep.
We'll cook dinner together. We'll order out sometimes, order in.
Yep.
You know, he's into wrestling, so
Yeah.
you know when one of those big matches come, we order it in. We getting them, you know, we getting them flats.
All flats
You know
all
what I
day.
mean? And
Well
we're
done.
chilling on the couch under the blanket, laughing at people get, you know, their butts wet. But you know, it's just those little things that we do. What are things you do? Oh, music.
Yeah.
It's nothing for us. Like we'll get up on like a weekend and we have like playlist wars. Like, we got the dopest playlist, and
yeah,
you know, he just like, you should have been a DJ in another life. Because I'll be pulling stuff out the
Swear to
wall.
God.
But I mean, it's just like little funny things that me and him only understand, you know.
Yeah.
But
no, we
you know,
we've got our things, and like, you know, Janae is a crafty person. She's like, I mean, the stuff that she does, like the only person I've ever seen do anything like what she does when it comes to like craft and woodwork is my mom. And I'm like, you know, they say you marry your mother, it ain't my intention, but
Right.
like she's so creative and she'll pull some shit out. I'm like, yo, that's dope. Like, you should run with that. You know, I get joy watching her have joy. And oh no, playlist wars go down. Serious, Deborah Hearn. And I'm an actual DJ. Like, and again, if Janae had just said yes to me in '95, like she'd have been the hottest DJ on the planet. Like, she'd have been dope. Like,
I love music. I got a good ear,
bro. Listen, so, and she don't have nigga ears.
Oh yeah, I'll listen to anything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
As long as it slaps, I'm listening.
It's
you know what
everything.
I mean? Like,
so
I mean, because people sample from all types of stuff
everything.
anyway. You know,
Right.
people act like I don't like rock and
I don't
roll.
like rock and
I
roll.
don't like country. I'm like, fool. Do you know what they sample that from?
Today is gonna be the day that we're gonna throw it back to you. Like, come on, stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, we enjoy each other. Like, we don't have to do shit. We can literally go to the park and people watch people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we
like,
do that sometimes,
we the people watch champions. If they ever listen, if they could put curling into the Olympics, they could put people watching in there. We up in that bitch. We winning the gold for the USA.
I love people watching. I just need a partner to do it with.
Right.
Real, the best, man.
What are things we don't do together?
Mm.
Oh, like he's into well, you see all this Marvel stuff, you know, I like Marvel things, but I didn't really grow up reading comics. I maybe learned more about it through watching movies like Superman and Wonder Woman and things like that. But this is his thing, you know what I mean? He needed a space. He was like, you know what? When I redo this office this time, I'm doing it all Marvel. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So all the pictures started going up. I'm like, this is like, you know, like a little kid's bedroom. But at the same time, I'm happy because this is the thing that he could not have when he was a kid. Let him rock. If he comes in with his superheroes, let him rock.
Yeah.
If that's making him feel, you know, some type of way, he can get his work done. He happy. Then listen.
Yeah.
This is your office. That's what it is,
Yeah.
you know. And it's funny to watch the baby coming here because now, like, she can tell you anything about a Marvel comic book or superhero. You know, Black Panther pass. She was like, "Wait, you know what happened there?" You know, so.
You know, I think, you know, the thing of it is, like, Janae loves she loves the Ratchet TV. It's not all she watches, but it's her guilty pleasure. She loves that. Oh, the thing that I don't like that she loves. There's this fucking, when we were dating, right? Blockbuster started to go out of business. So I was on a Blockbuster and whatnot. And like, we ain't had no cable. She had no cable. I ain't had no cable. So it was nothing for me to have my Blockbuster. So I'm like, yo, they selling all these DVDs. We gonna ball out at Blockbuster. So I get her like 20 DVDs, but there's one she kept watching. Fucking Splice. Have you ever seen Splice?
Sci-fi.
No, that fucking movie. She will watch this. Like, me and Dory, I swear to God, this thing is demon possessed because I could have swore we broke that shit in a million pieces and threw it out. We found that shit the other day. I told my daughter, I said, Dory, she found Splice. She's like, oh shit, I'm so happy I'm away at school in my own apartment. You know, but like, she loves obscure stuff. She loves really random, like, independent horror films. So I got to watch them, but then we'll watch the classics together. You know, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, be like, all them white people could have lived if they just didn't pick up hitchhikers, if they just kept going, if they stuck to the main roads, you know. So, like, the thing of it is, I don't think it's so much about the activities we do or don't do together. It's about making sure that, you know, we get into what each other loves because we love each other.
Right.
You know. And that's just what it is. So I don't care. Oh, okay. That's I see Colty's being a bitch ass again. He gained that weight, but he got that beard back. Okay, so Oh, Coty went back to Brazil and got another one, huh? All right.
That's how it be.
Yeah.
So like with guys and like girls night out, how is that? How do y'all handle that?
Well, we usually, I don't know, at our age, like we usually just go out as couples.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's not a whole lot of that. And if you do hang out with the boy, it's usually like his brother.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll go out and have a couple of drinks. We get into that auntie and uncle age. So it's not a whole lot of that because everybody, you know what I mean? And like everyone, you get to this point where everyone's either, oh man, if they're not married, then you know they've been with somebody for a minute. So, you know, it's always like a couples thing. It's very rare.
Yeah, it's, you know, for us, it's more of a situation where we just, you know, do what we do. Like, I don't see my brother very much, and my brother was hospitalized recently. Not because of COVID, but because of a heart issue, but he's completely recovered now. But the thing of it is, you know, my brother's like, yo, I miss you. I ain't seen you come through. I was like, yo, you want to wrestle? Like, man, if you don't go have some man time with your brother, you know. And so the next time I went to see my brother, I brought the family, and my brother went and made tomahawks on the, you know, on the grill in the backyard. Like, we just enjoy being grown, and like we're not like I was a DJ, so last thing I want to be is the old dude in the club,
right?
You know, so that type of thing. There's not a whole lot of guys night out, girls night out shit. We just go out.
Right. Okay, I got you. So I know, especially during COVID. Mm-hmm. So how do y'all weigh out the us versus alone time?
Us versus alone time. That's easy. There are times when Janae's like, look, I need time. So Mondays and Fridays are her days to work. Mm-hmm. If she don't feel like working on those days, she wants to do something else, she's more than welcome. I'll do my best to hold down the fort. Unfortunately, and she'll tell you this, like, my business sometimes means that it's 7 days a week, even with the staff, even with an admin, even with assistants and all that, even me running payroll. But we work it out.
We're flexible.
But you gotta be, because like if BET call, like, I mean, what you gonna do? Right. You know what I'm saying? So there's a level of understanding there, but you know, there are times where you just need to be like, there are days when she's like, look, I'm tired. You got the boops, and that means that, you know, you got Dev. I'm like, nah, I got it. Go ahead, you chill. You want some coffee or something? I'll run out, grab her coffee, whatever the case may be. Like the object of the game is like, when I look at my wife, and I don't think I've even said this to her. Mm-hmm. When I look at my wife, I'm like, how can I serve her better? And that doesn't mean how can I kiss her ass? That doesn't mean, you know, am I turning into Alfred? It means, can I help her with her needs at this moment? And if I don't know what those are, do I have enough sense to ask her, okay, what do you need? Well, yeah. How can I assist you? Because I want her, again, everything I want, even when, you know, we might not see eye to eye on it, I try to do based out of her happiness, wanting her happiness to be, you know, in the forefront. So I do my thing, she does her thing, we do our thing, mm-hmm. You know, and it's important. We're like New Edition. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bobby Brown's good to go solo. You know what I'm saying? But you got to give Johnny some.
Yeah. Right.
That's it.
Got you. So how do you prioritize, and if it's a thing, date night?
Oh,
it's critical.
Yeah, you definitely a lot of arranging. You know, for the little one to you know, like someone to babysit her for us. And we make that time. You got to make that time, like, because when you go long periods of time where you're not making couple time, you're just going to end up being like this, two ships in the night. And we just recently took a very nice vacation.
Sure did.
A very nice vacation. We were going a whole week.
Sure was.
It was the most beautiful thing. And it was so funny because a lot of the things that sometimes when we get caught up with, you know, running our businesses, the kids, you know, just life in general, you sometimes lose those little things that you used to do, you know, because you're doing things. And sometimes we're in the same house and we're so busy, like we don't even have a whole conversation. So, you know, you have to be conscious of those things. So we took this vacation. It was like right on time. Mm-hmm. Like, I swear, like we shed like 5 years.
Yo, like
it was just because we were chilling and we could laugh, we can talk, we had no distractions. when it came to work, those things were taken care of. There was no children with us, we knew everything. All we did was drink and eat
and swim.
and flex, because we black people, we got to get short for our vacation. So
right. Out there showing out.
Yeah, so we were showing out. So we had a really good time, and it was a really good time for us to somewhat reconnect in some areas where we, you just don't get a chance to. The love is there, but sometimes you get so caught up, those little things that you used to do, you just don't get a chance to do. And kids change a lot.
Kids change a lot. And the thing of it is, you're
your time's not your time anymore.
Right. You're in the process of constantly, we're both building. Mm-hmm. Like, it might look like success to y'all, but we're both building. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're both in a building stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally just bought another company last month. You know what I'm saying? That's getting ready to launch.
Hey, man.
I love you and I hate you all at the same time. But the thing of it is, like, sometimes you could be so caught up in building that you don't even look at the building. And then you stop and be like, hey, look what I did. And it's like, oh, you sleep? Damn. So it's nice to be in a position where you can just be for a minute and recognize that when you're waging war, you ain't got time to make love. And like, that can't be, because
no, you got no time.
Ain't nobody trying to leave her out here lonely. No, sir.
Right.
Look, she went for a walk yesterday, and some random ass dude going, excuse me.
Oh my God.
Excuse me.
We was down in Maryland, and I'm doing a morning walk before we, get on the road to head back to Philly. And I'm like, okay, let me just go for my little morning walk. And a grown ass man is like, sis, can I talk to you for a minute? I'm like, dude, like, grown ass men still, like, they be like, I ain't had nobody try to holler at me like that since like probably high school. And it is so funny because when you get married, you kind of get out that element and you forget. But I was like, that is so corny. Like, I don't. Oh my God, like, I could not be single right now. This is how dudes trying to, like, holler at chicks.
I was like, that's what he did?
And an old dude, like it was, it was like, come on, man. Like, he was over, I say he was over probably at least 30.
Yeah, like
old enough to know not to.
Like, God looked out for him that day.
Yeah, I just kept walking like, dude,
because if I had come downstairs and out of that hotel,
he ain't know. He just seen a chick.
I know.
Chick, and he ain't know nothing. But but it was just, we laughed so hard the whole ride home, because it was like, dudes just went out here.
Excuse me, hey sis, like excuse me. Because in the 90s they'd be like, hey, a black dress. A black dress with the locks on the side. A black dress with the locks on the side of the glasses. A black dress with the locks on the side of the glasses and the necklace.
Girl. She said,
Deborah, yo.
I can't, because I've been married for almost 10 years now. So you know what I mean? And you just don't, get that. That ring, just usually deters dudes. But it's just like, and some people be trying it, but I just never had, like, in so long. Like, really, dude?
Like, that's the best you got?
Right. Yeah, I was just like, you too old for this, sir.
Oh yeah.
Write that down, not to holler at girls out the car anymore.
Please don't.
Right. Like, I'm gonna start a course. how to not get laid.
Hey, we gonna start a course.
Oh, we doing this? You partnering?
Yeah, we.
Cool. I know you was fluent in French.
A little bit.
That's what's up.
All right, so after 10 years to knowing each other and being married, so at what point did you realize y'all really knew each other?
Wow. See, that's a loaded question. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, because you're always. I think you're. I don't think you all. I think there's core things that you know about each other, but I think in this lifespan we're always evolving, so you really don't know. There's things that happen, opportunities, tragedies, triumphs, milestones that you sometimes just don't see coming. You understand? And that could change you in many, many ways. And I think I don't want to be with someone who's just going to be the same throughout the years. I want somebody that's changing. For me, it keeps it interesting. It gives us more opportunities to celebrate, to be happy, all those normal emotions that you get. But I don't think you never feel, because you do things sometimes. I'm like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, no.
And it's surprising, like the book he just did. he's been working on it for years, and just out of nowhere, he's just like, here, read this. And I'm like, this is the book, finally, So it's just like, because he gets so busy. So there's like, it's not that I didn't think he had it in him, but it's just he has his hands in so many things. Writing books has been something that he's sort of put off for a while. So I was like, okay, so you still have an interest in, and so it's just like those types of things are awesome. And then even now, like even with like some of the sports and some of the different events that we go into, like we're about to go do the we're going to get into as soon as Rona allows us again, like the gun ranges.
Oh yeah,
like you didn't know, like I was into guns. Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like,
I lived in Texas for a decade. I love guns.
Yeah, I'm like I've always been into guns. Those types of things. So it's always interesting. Sometimes it's just things you don't necessarily always talk about. You just but
yeah,
we're always evolving.
I think that's the thing. Like the girl I met when I was 17 years old, young, dumb, and full of cum, is in there somewhere. But that's not who I married. And the girl that I married is in there somewhere, but that's not who this is.
Right.
And it shouldn't be. Like, we're constantly evolving, we're constantly changing, and we're getting to know each other every day. And like, it's cool because I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? And she's like, yeah, I think you should do that. Or, well, I don't know about that one. I'm like, okay, cool. Because if she said, like, here's the thing. There are people who clout chase. I don't. I care about one person's opinion. Hers, right, above my mama, above my brother, everybody else. And I'm gonna tell you why, because she's not gonna let me fuck up, and if she thinks something's a good idea, if I'm kind of on the fence about something, she's like, if you don't go do that shit, you can do that shit. Like I woke up in the middle of the night one time. I was like, yo, I woke up, I had a dream. She's like, what happened? I said, in the dream, I was doing a conference and I called that shit BullyCon. It was crazy. She was like, yeah, you gonna do that? And she just turned over and rolled right back to sleep. I'm like, Nate,
he's
no.
Gonna do it anyway. He's the dude with the parachute, and I'm the one like, you locked. I'm checking all the buckles, and
right.
That's me. I'm the safe one. He's like, I'm jumping. I don't care. I got a parachute or not. So it works out. We sort of have this balance, but also watching him allows me to be a lot more daring and not always play it safe, because sometimes you just got to say yes. You can't think about it because opportunities come, they go. You can't get caught up in the fear. Sometimes you just got to be comfortable doing things that feel uncomfortable. And I love him. That's what he's taught me, because for a long time, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I can start my own business and not have, a steady paycheck coming every week and not knowing, But watching him, I was just like, after a while, you get sick of this, sick and tired. And I was just like, I took that leap, and it was the best thing that I've ever done. But I don't think if I had not met him, and him being my husband and having the opportunity to watch him grow and go through, the hills and valleys of entrepreneurship and becoming a business person, I never would have done half of what I'm, doing now. A lot of that is learned and from watching, him.
Right. But like, this is the shit that pisses me off about her, because she act like she ain't fucking dope. Like,
I'm not saying that, but there's a lot. But
can I compliment my wife without just let me get this off? Like, she will be like, oh yeah, that's cool. But you know what? Like when I first gave her the first, she got she never saw the first draft. The second draft to Sell It Like Jesus, I gave her like the first 2 chapters, and she was like, yeah, but like, you're not just talking to black people, so you might want to put this in here and you might want to change that here, and then I don't see enough of this in here, and you should do that one thing you did in Pitch, Close, Up, Sell, Repeat, but don't make it corny, put a twist on it. And I was like, did she just give me all these fucking notes? Oh my shit. But she's a better writer than I am. Like, structurally, she's a better writer than I am. And the one thing that Janae has allowed me to do and has taught me to do, like, she'll tell you I push her out there, but you know what she does? Like, I got checklists now. Like, bro, like, you know how people are addicted to their phone? I'm not addicted. I'm a slave. This is my genie bottle, homeboy. If it's not on the calendar, it's not. Don't fucking call me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're not on my calendar, I can't. I have to have certain guidelines and guardrails and blocks in place, because without that, I would not be successful. So there's things that over time we've gotten really off on each other, which makes us work and makes us stronger.
Got you. Let me give myself a round of applause for making it on your calendar.
Yeah.
Gotta celebrate yourself. Gotta celebrate.
Right.
All right, so I know that that's a loaded question on purpose, because you'd be surprised. People will hear it, think for a second, and just say, "Yeah, I really know him." Like, you know him for 3 years. Like, how do you really know? But
yeah, I don't think you ever do.
Nah.
And that's why I think you see a lot of people. You ever see people who've been married for like 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and then they get divorced? You're like, y'all been married for like an eternity. What you mean? Well, I ain't know him. I ain't know her for 50 years. But I think that's what they mean.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes you just, you know a lot about a person, but a person is always evolving, and everyone has different tools to, you know, to deal with life and to reveal certain, you know, parts of who they are. And some people are really good at keeping
right.
things under wraps for long periods of time, and some people aren't. Like, we just too real with each other, I think.
Yeah,
all the time, which really works.
Right. So, knowing each other for so long, how did y'all place your rules of engagement for arguing?
Oh, bro.
I think we came to a point where you know, there's an understanding the difference between an argument and a debate. When we're arguing, we don't want anybody leaving that argument feeling like one person won and one person lost.
Right.
And feeling disrespected. That's a no-no. So we don't call our disagreements arguments. We call them debates, because we are strategic in the way that we voice our opinions and our grievances with one another, and we show respect.
Yeah.
Just because we're not agreeing in the moment doesn't mean that you got to be disrespectful and have an attitude and be all in your bag about it. You understand? Like, there has to be. It's not about the disagreement. It's about how we resolve it. Okay. And if it gets heated, because we're both Scorpios. Absolutely. And we're very outspoken. And there are moments when it can get like heated.
You wouldn't want to be here.
You know, you have to know when to let it go, you know, and then come back to it and address it when you're not so heated. Because, you know, when you're really heated, you know, that's when sometimes, you know, things can get kind of out of hand and disrespectful and, you know, name calling and things like that, you know, and being, you know, dysfunctional. And you have to be aware of that. So, we really try to avoid those things. Have we had those types of arguments throughout a relationship? Absolutely. We ain't perfect, but I think as you grow, you learn to it's not about the disagreement. You know, it's about how you resolve it and get through it, you know. Right.
But like the thing of it is, right, when you have a disagreement, right, real quick, when it comes down to it, what comes out of that disagreement is a better understanding. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to know your partner well enough to know, like, right now it might not be the time you want to hear this shit. Right. So let me park it for a minute, and then I'll come back and I'm like, look, this is what I was trying to get you to understand. Or sometimes you got to let them just, hey, okay, let the baby have its bottle and be like, yo, now you see what I'm trying to, you ain't gonna do that dumb shit no more, will you? So it was hot, didn't I? You ain't want to listen. And mostly I'm the one putting this hand on the stove. Yeah, I mean, I'm chaos. She order. It works.
Got you. So what's like a common reoccurring beef that y'all have over the years?
Probably our oldest daughter, because she's excuse me, I gotta be mommy.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
Family show.
It's probably our.
Look,
yes, go get it. Go get
the dog.
You know, probably our oldest daughter, because she's adulting. She's about to graduate college. I'm sometimes the more liberal parent, where I'm like, let's respect her space as an adult with boundaries. He's like, hell no, she got a pot to piss in or when is it throw it out? She ain't until she starts, you know, footing the bill for her apartment and paying for her car, or, you know, whatever it is that she needs to do. We're gonna do it after we finish, okay?
Soon as we finish, you
know, and I'm like, sometimes, like, that's just like, come on, you know, you got to give her a space. But I understand what he's saying, because there's a difference between feminine energy and male energy. Male energy is like black and white. Like, listen, if I told you to do something, you need to do it the way that it needs to be done, because we're footing the bill, or we need, you know, certain notices, or just because your chronological age says that you're an adult, you don't always conduct yourself, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that way, because you're still learning. You don't know everything yet, and you don't yet see it. You just know I'm 21, I'm grown, and I got freedom to do this, but you're not always correct. And we're not always like coming from your neck. We're parents. That's what we're supposed to do, guide you. We're not trying to control you, but we're not always going to agree with your decision making. And he's just like, like there's no negotiating here, and I think that would be like sometimes we have to like talk it out and work that out.
Yeah. I mean, like anything else, man, for me, it's a situation like this. Like I said, moms are a safe place to fall. Like you can always come home, get a meal, get your clothes washed, all this. That's what mom does. Daddy is a microcosm of the real world because the real world don't care that you were the chosen one.
Yeah.
The real world don't care that you mama's first baby. The real world don't care how special you are or what you meant to the family when you came out of mommy's cooch in 1999. Nobody cares about that in the real world. Your boss wants to know, can you get it done? Right? And as a black father of black daughters, it is my responsibility to prepare them not for the world that I wish existed, but for the world that actually exists right now. That's job number one. Job number two is for me to do everything I can as a man to make that world better so that it looks more like the world we wish existed. But I got to handle job one first. And job one means that I got to make sure that she's straight. And there is a reason why, because you just don't get everything that you want because you want it. That's not how it works. If you want it, then you have to go after it. There's a certain level of work involved. And the problem with our generation, like, don't criticize these kids when you made them. Don't criticize them being soft when you softened them. And so, for us, it's a situation where I'm a man, so I'm going to make sure she's straight. Because if she can handle me, she can handle anything out in the world.
That's true.
And she does. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it is. But you can't have one without the other. If she wasn't here, then it would be off balance. If I wasn't here, it would be off balance. Mm-hmm. You need both.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. We both have two different ways of getting up the mountain, but we get there.
Mm-hmm. Got you. So what was the most asinine, dumbest beef that y'all had where y'all both walked away like, I don't even understand why we argued about this?
Shit.
But I know we've had plenty.
We've had plenty. Oh, I remember.
What?
There was there was some show that you got mad at.
I can't stand that show.
What the fuck?
Married at First Sight.
Oh my gosh, she hates Married at First Sight. I love that shit because I just think these are the dumbest motherfuckers ever. Oh you're gonna marry somebody you ain't never met. You don't know if they stink down there. You don't know their values. You don't know if they worship chickens. You don't know where they live. You don't know shit. And then you're surprised that after the honeymoon they living in squalor with their grandma.
Right.
It's the same thing every season. And so after a while, I was just like, fuck it. But then we discovered Married at First Sight Australia, and oh shit.
That's actually good though, because they have common sense. They have common sense.
Yeah, man. So that was the dumbest thing we've ever argued over. But for the most part, like we don't stay mad long. And I mean, there are times we go to bed angry. Fuck that shit. Yeah. Because sometimes you need a night to cool down. You know what I mean? So I'll lay out on the couch or sometimes she'll lay out on the couch. But you know what? I tell her all the time, like, I would rather be mad with you than be happy with somebody that's not going to be there for me.
Yeah.
Because
it's normal.
We not going to be, But we love each other for real. Like it's not some fake shit for y'all. Like we actually love each other. This is my best friend. Like we be rolling.
Absolutely.
Got you. So how do you handle like bad days? Like, is it like, hey, come over here and cheer me up, or is it like, yo, just give me some space, leave me alone for a minute?
We usually have our ask of one another because I know sometimes for me, as a woman in being a Scorpio, sometimes I can be moody. And especially if everything is coming to a head, because I think for women and for me in particularly, I'm a giver, and so when I'm wearing all these different hats, sometimes I have to slow down, and sometimes it can manifest itself in me being just, I need a nap. I need to do something to pamper myself, like go get a massage,
right?
Or I just want to be alone. Like even if it's me just going to get a milkshake or something, or smoothie somewhere, you know what I mean? Just for 30 goddamn minutes, I just like, you know what I mean? And I'll say to him, you know what? I'm feeling kind of moody today, so if I'm a little short today, Please don't take it personal. It has nothing to do with you. You know what my schedule's been like, or you know what my day's been like. I'm just going to remove myself because I don't feel like this is the outlet for that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't want to be in your house snapping at, you know what I mean? Everybody has those days, and let me just go do my thing. And another thing I like to do a lot of like I like nature. So there's like a really nice like park with trails and stuff, and they have water. I love the water. So I'll go there and I'll just sit, chill, and kind of center myself. Just, you know what I mean? Look at the city skyline. You know, those are like little things. And there are sometimes, you know, I need his advice. I really need his advice, or I just want to cuddle, and we'll let each other know before. Like if I'm venting, I don't really want I don't want you to say nothing. I just want you to listen. Because sometimes you just want people to listen. You don't want people to putting their 2 cents in.
She don't want to be coached.
Sometimes I don't.
No.
But you know, those little types of things, I think our communication has really gotten throughout the
leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
man. Leaps and bounds.
Yeah, because when we in the younger years, woo,
little child,
you know, it was just like, okay, like we felt like somebody always had to have the last word, and they ain't hot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you always mad and get on each other's nerves. Like you can't do that. Like with him, like I'll give you an example. Like the trash, that's his job to take out the trash, right? If he didn't take out the trash, I'm like, you know what? Am I gonna start an argument over the trash?
Right.
I can take the trash out. Now he may get pissed because I took the trash out because he's like, that's a dude's job. That's what I do in the house. But I'm like, listen. If you having a busy day and the freaking trash got to be taken out, I'm not beefing with you over no damn trash. Really, like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things we could be beefing about. I'm not gonna be that type of chick. Like, I can take out the trash. I'm okay with that. Right. What we got to prove to our neighbors. I know what you do. Like today's a busy day. You just ain't got to it, and the trash is full, and is because I'm like OCD. I'm like clean in my house, and that little thing will like set me off. It will like gnaw at me all day. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm taking this damn trash out. So it's like little things like that. Like sometimes you just gotta be like, that's petty, like the little petty stuff. But you get better with that. I think most people with age, you gotta let people rock. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's little things that I do. He'll just like, you know what, you win. Like I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? Because like, we really want to sit here arguing over this is just, I know this is what you do. It's just like a give and take and a sacrifice in loving people unconditionally. You got to accept the good, the bad, the stuff that get on your nerves. Now, I'm not saying be nobody's doormat. No. If it bothers you that much where you don't even want to come home at the end of a long day or whatever, then come on, man. See?
I ain't paying door. Say that, but no.
I can't do it. My OCD will not do it. I'm with you, though. There's other things that I can leave, you know, alone. But
not the trash. That ain't happening. Listen, I did, and one day I did a Breakfast Club 3 podcast and a TV show, and I came home like, boom.
You heard that.
That's not the point. The point is I came home, she was like, yo, what's up? She's like, how was it? I was like, oh, I killed it. I'm like, Dory, tell your mom I killed it. She's like, yeah, he killed it, blah, 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 blah. Right? And she was like, cool, can you kill that trash? Like just all that, like instead of the it was like all the wind out my sails, just punched my chest in, like boom.
Like we were like, like that's what we do.
Yeah, like okay, that's great. You great. I know you was great.
That was that day I left that dang on trash bag.
I'm gonna need you to bully that trash.
Yeah,
have them bags.
Right.
Yeah, man.
All right, so let's switch gears for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
How important is non-sexual affection?
Oh yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10, 30 for me.
Yeah, it definitely is, because I think as you get older, I think when you're younger, I think the physical thing is that's all, you know, you want that more than you know, the touch. But I think as you get older, that intimacy, like I can literally sit next to him and we just cuddle, and it's just like, oh, you know what I mean? Right. And I appreciate that. I think a lot more than I did when we were
when we were younger.
Yeah, you know,
Absolutely.
I think so. But I mean, but I still think both are important.
Well, no, I still want the sex. She's
Yeah,
fine
we
as
still
shit.
want we still want the sex.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you know,
question.
we can still get that popping.
Oh yeah.
You know, but
Yes.
but I do think we appreciate the holding hands. It's those little things, like on a busy day, like he'll just like come in there with my favorite snack or
Right.
or something. I'm like, I didn't even ask him to do it. Like, I appreciate those types of things.
Listen.
You understand what I'm saying? And it makes a big difference. And he's happy at night.
I'm very happy.
Right.
The thing of it is, right? Like, I got this thing, and I'll tell people, like, I'm working on my health right now. Like, the only mountain I haven't conquered in my life, there's 2 left: Madison Square Garden and my weight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on my weight so I can get to Madison Square Garden. But the other thing of it is, I don't want her next husband getting any of this. So like, she's good. By the time I get out of here, if I check out before her, most likely I will. I mean, it's statistical.
Yeah, statistically, yeah.
Statistically, men die about 7.3 years before their spouses. I want to get all I can get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's the bottom line for me, man. Like, I just think that you want to, you want to be in a situation where you're good and you're happy.
Got you. So the flip side of the coin is very important still.
Very.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, you technically answered it already. I still
Yes.
So what will be your definition of submission, and how much does it play a part into your relationship? Everybody has a definition, so
I think people get like real lit over this topic, but I think feminine energy is very important. I think as a couple, you have to define what submission means to you. Submission to me doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be barefoot and pregnant in the damn kitchen, but I gotta let my man lead. Don't no man want no quarrelsome woman. Like, these are things that my dad used to tell me when I was younger, and I didn't know a lot about the world. I didn't have a whole lot of life experience being raised by a single mom, seeing a lot of strong women doing it, doing the damn thing, so it took me some time to relearn how to be soft, because there's certain things that women offer men. That softness, when he comes home from the outside world here, he needs to feel safe. He needs to feel put back together. He needs to know that his kids are okay. If his thing is to have a good meal, then I'm gonna cook him a good meal. That's our thing. I ain't saying that's everybody's thing. I think there's certain things that women bring to the table. If he had a hard day, I may need to help him build his ego up. You know what I mean? Give him a massage. Tell him he looked good today. Whatever that special touch, whatever. I think that's what that means. And in our relationship, what do you always say? Like, you're the body and
I'm the head, but she's the neck.
Yeah.
And the neck is more important than the head. Like, the head gets the glory, but the neck tells the head where to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a husband.
Right.
Like, fuck all this fucking tree hugging liberal shit. You can do whatever. I don't want a husband. I want a wife. You know what I mean? And if she wanted a female, she'd be a lesbian. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. No diss.
No, yeah.
But like, that's what it is. Like, I like doing my man shit, and I like being her man. You know what I'm saying? I like her being my wife. I don't keep her from a damn thing. If she needs it, she gets it. Like, it's no rap. You know what I'm saying? There's no excuses. The thing of it is, if a man is supposed to protect and provide, right, then I'm providing a home. It's my job. Excuse me. I'm providing a house.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know how to make a home. She did. Like, I learned what homemaking is from her. I'm still learning how to take care of my daughters the way that she does, and I don't think I'll ever get there, but I keep trying.
Well, I just think that women have some innate traits that's just where sometimes we have more skill set when it comes to that, but there's men who have a great skill set. It depends on how you run your household.
Right.
I think, in our relationship, you respect that women are out here doing it. You respect that we can somewhat have it all, whatever that means, but we are very specific in what our roles are in our household.
Right.
We do what we know that we are good at. I'm not trying to step on his toes. He's not trying to step on mine, but be assured, if I got sick or something happened, he can do it.
Oh yeah.
He can do it. And I can do this. I can do the same. And we respect that. But, no, I'm not. I'm happy. I'm happy being a woman. I think I can have a sense of independence. I can be successful. I can go after my dreams. I could be a mother. I could be a wife, but I don't have to be up in here pounding my chest about that either. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Like we know that. Like I'm a woman.
Right.
He know he a man. He ain't gotta go like what we proving. We don't need no power struggles in here because we are very clear about what our roles are, and because we're clear on that, I think that's why we don't have a lot of those types of power struggles.
No, not at
But
all.
if a problem arises and we don't understand, it goes back to the point we made earlier. There's ask of one another. We're gonna have a sit down and we're gonna talk this out and we're gonna get this straight because ain't nobody got time for that. You know, ain't nobody got time for the nonsense. Like we trying to be in this for the long haul. And if I'm trying to step on his shoes and he trying to step, you know, like nah, and I just feel sometimes when we live in a society where everyone is equal, sometimes we lose a sense of gender roles. That's gender roles sometimes are good. I don't buy into everything. I think I have, to my dad, there's a lot of things that as a female makes me very androgynous in my skill set and the things that I can do, because I do what a lot of people in society would consider non-traditional for a woman. Like I can go out there and fix that whole car. I can do that. Yep. Not every woman can do that, and I'm happy to do that. I get down on that type of stuff, but I don't need to do that though because I got a man.
Sure enough,
that says that's my job. You ain't got to get under there.
Nope.
Great, you know how to do that.
Appreciate you,
queen. You're not doing it, so I'm okay with that. So I can be soft. I ain't got to do that.
No.
I'm not on my own. I'm not a single mom anymore. You know what I mean? There's certain things that I don't have to do those things anymore, and I allow him to provide those, you know, provide his manhood in the sense of I'm the provider. I'm going to lead. You ain't got to be out here getting your hands dirty
for what,
you know, whatever. So we respect that.
Oh, and I think that's important. And a lot of times, what happens with people is they go into this fucking circle shit where it's like, well, you did this and you did okay. We got the fuck do you want? Like, give me your ask. I understand what you're pissed off about. How do you want to fix it? Because if you ain't got a solution, we sitting up here just talking shit and like, people
got stuff to do.
This bread don't make itself.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so like I think that's the one thing that we've had to learn, you know, in our 40s that we didn't have in our 30s, which was, what is your ask? What do you want in this moment? How can we, you know, get this resolved? Because if you ain't got no resolution, you just want to fight.
Yeah,
you just want to fight. If you want to fight, you can do that on the streets. We don't do that up in here.
Right.
What's your ask? So that's extremely important. No.
Thank you.
Okay. So usually people, you know, get their terms and definitions submission from the, you know, religion and the Bible. So how much does religion play a factor into your relationship?
I don't believe in religion.
Okay.
I believe in spiritual relationship.
I'm with you on that.
I'm a theologian, so I've read all of them. I've read the Torah, I've read the Tower of Buddha. Like I can, you know, I mean, I'm the second best Baptist preacher on the planet. First being Farrakhan. The thing of it is, right? All these things are as simple as this, right? When you look at where marriage is, right? Traditionally, a woman is leaving a hole in her father's home because the woman, from eldest to youngest, is providing certain services to the father. And so in the betrothment period, you would have to give a cow and a certain amount of gold and myrrh. And I don't know the frankincense. I don't know the shit, but you get my point, right? So now we don't do that. Now it's a situation where the father gives her a send-off because that's the last thing. That's why the father, the bride, pays for the wedding. And then the husband has to prove that he can do that. Now he doesn't do that with a cow. He does it with the rock. You understand? That's where that comes from. And the thing of it is, as long as I'm able to provide, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done my part. I don't need you to provide. It's nice that you should have your own, and I'm a big believer in that because I don't want you out here not knowing how to swim. But what are you bringing to the table? Because there's 4.7 billion women on the planet. All of them have working vaginas. So there has to be something else.
Right.
Am I made better by you? Am I inspired by you? Do I feel safe? Even Superman, who could hear everybody's voice on the planet, has a fortress of solitude, a place that's away from everybody. I keep mine with me. You understand? So I can focus on whatever it is. I ain't got to worry about the house being in chaos because it's never going to be in chaos as long as Janae is here.
Right.
She ain't got to worry about the lights getting cut off. She ain't got to worry about an empty fridge. She ain't got to worry about shit because I'm here. We are here. And as long as we are in this, we are good.
Real shit. That's dope.
Yeah.
Good segue, because my next question was, how are you making each other better?
Oh, definitely. Just I think allowing each other to just be their authentic selves.
Mhm.
Like I'm not in the business of trying to change who he is. I think when you decide, especially when you're talking about marriage, to love someone and to go under a legal contract to say I love you and will be with you forever, I think you take the good, the bad, you know what you're signing up signing up for, and you should be ready to put in that work. I don't think love should be a struggle love. I don't think love should be hard. So I think that is kind of the key.
Yeah. Nah.
What do you think?
I think the main thing for us is just being ourselves, like without any, like I'm gonna be who I am.
Accepting of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like even if what society says is not acceptable, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm gonna be who I am. Like like y'all have this thing that I wasn't born with called a filter. I don't know what that shit is. I tried to find one. They don't sell them in AutoZone, not for my mouth. So the fuck you gonna do? I am who I am, and I'm not gonna apologize for it because what I do obviously works. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm home, she accepts that and she understands that that's who I am. Yeah. You know, but don't mistake who I am for who she is, because that'll get you choked. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, man. Like, you know, I want her to be whoever she is going to be in this world. Yeah. That's going to make her happy, and she wants the same for me. And when you want somebody's happiness above all else, everything else is figure outable.
Right.
That's it. I got nothing else. That's it. I want her happiness. She wants mine. And whatever that takes, that's legal, you know, we're going to do.
Yeah, definitely.
Mostly legal.
That's dope. That's dope. All right. So this little section, I'm going to call it, let's get into some complications in the relationship. So in the beginning, did you have to overlook any deal breakers? Let's do both of you.
Oh, I think I did.
What?
I did. No, because when we first got together, like we were dating, and you came out of such a tumultuous situation. His family was very, very protective, very, very protective. Mine was protective, but your family was very protective, and I think because of a lot of things that happened. So it took a minute for him to everyone loved me, but it took him a minute to kind of reveal to like, especially your mom, because that we were like moving towards the marriage thing.
Right.
It was one thing, like he had to dose her out because she was so like concerned, you know, and that there probably wasn't like a whole lot of time.
Right.
And you know, because I had relocated here because we were doing a long distance thing, and it took him a minute. That pissed me off. I remember pissed me off. Yeah, like she liked me and we had a great relationship, but he had to dose her, and I'm like, you a grown ass man, like. Right now she coming from you know what I mean? Like at the time, that's how I thought because I was younger. Right. But and I didn't mean any disrespect, but I just thought like we grown, you know. Right. Why do you have to pace your mother? But now I kind of understand, you know, that's the type of relationship. But I think that was the only thing that I ever could really remember that was kind of like, because I roll different. Like like whatever I do, my mom doesn't have to accept it. Like I don't dose anything out. I'm just like, here it all is, you know?
And that's the problem with that is she has a different context. Like my mom is damn near old enough to be her mom.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't. That's when I was.
Her mom was 18 when the twins were born. So my mother was 31 when I was born. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? My mama's youngest sister is older than my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's a different type of situation. They grew up together.
Yeah.
I had a mother-son relationship. Mom is here. I'm down here. You know what I'm saying? So there's a different difference in level. I got you. Where we got, you know, we had to understand that. I didn't really have a whole lot. You know, her family looked at me with the side eye for other reasons. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like I'm no deal breakers for real. Like I feel like if I'm gonna take you, I'm gonna take all of you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing short of being the 2020 Bukkake champion that you could do, that would because I just think that's fucking disgusting. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, other than that, there's nothing this woman could do that would piss me off. You know what I'm saying? As long as fidelity is respected, we good money. That's a two-way street. So
yeah,
that's it. We gravy, man.
Yeah.
And whatever we don't figure out, we'll figure out.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? We look right in front of our face. We don't look 30 years down the road. Because we're here right now, we can actually see.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's dope. So, would you compromise your happiness for a successful relationship? You kind of talked about it earlier, but
yeah, I don't really see that being a thing.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. How can you be in a successful relationship if you're not happy?
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be surprised at the answers I get from that question.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean, well, God bless those people, and hopefully they find counseling, because I highly recommend it.
I guess people compartmentalize it, but I don't see
The brass ring don't mean that much to me. That I'm going to give up my happy. I tried that once. Godzilla is somewhere doing something, but
I think you're in it for better or for worse. But if it's for worse all the time, and it's struggle of, and you're hurting, and it's not working, then it's just not working. I don't see any sense of putting someone that I claim to love. My love for you is that deep. We're going to be happy then, because if happiness is not here, then you don't need to be here. I love you too much for that. I don't. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah.
Got you.
Word.
All right, so let's get down to the home stretch.
That's what it is.
So, at any point, did y'all do marriage counseling or couples counseling?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. We were like 5 counselors. What you talking about?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I think it's always good to have a marriage counselor. I don't think people who have this idea that when you go to marriage counselors, always got to be a problem. No, marriage counselors put things into perspective, even when there's no issues happening in your marriage. You know what I mean? It's always good to have that perspective from a therapist to point you in the directions, because sometimes you need to know how to balance your family life with your work life. The stress of everyday life. Because your life changes. Your life changes when you have a small child and that child becomes an adult. These are all things that change the trajectory of your relationship as a couple. And sometimes it's good to go and have that perspective and get a plan of how to deal with your feelings about certain things. So it does not always have to be, something negative. I think it's very helpful, for couples, especially if you're having problems, trying to figure things out, be it good or bad.
Right. It's critical.
Yeah.
Absolutely critical.
So what was the best advice y'all received as a couple?
We thought that there was something wrong with us because we're Scorpios and we argued a lot. And the counselor was like, huh?
Yeah.
She was like, it's weird if you don't argue.
Yeah.
People who don't argue are liars.
Yep.
Oh.
She's definitely.
And that changed everything. It was like, oh,
and
so we're normal.
Yeah. And she's like, it's the way you resolve it at the end. No, I can't do that right now. But it's the way that she said, the way that you resolve it.
The way that resolved it. That's
and
most important.
she said the couples who come into her who don't argue and they say, oh, we just get along all the time. It's a bit there's some underlining issues it just doesn't happen that way. There's always something to talk about. There's always going to be some points of
contention. There's going to be some issues always. I just think it's extremely important, and you need somebody. You can't see the picture when you're in the frame. Yeah. Bottom line, and for us, it's important to get an outside perspective that's not biased, that doesn't have a genetic link to either of us, that didn't grow up with us. Who can tell us, okay, this is what it is. And she was like, no, you guys are going to be fine. You're going to make it. I said, how do you know? She's like, because y'all argue when it's healthy. Y'all just need little tweaks, and that's just what it was. So that's what it is. But yeah, choose your therapist wisely.
Oh yeah, definitely choose your therapist wisely.
I had a therapist tell me that, well, she's spicy, isn't she? Because we'd have sessions together and then sessions alone. It's like, because sometimes Black women, they just talk bad. And I was like, okay. Me and my wife might argue, but what the fuck you don't get to do.
Right.
You raggedy purple hair bitch. My
And it wasn't
motherfucking
even,
wife.
I don't even know
It
what she
wasn't
was talking
like
about.
we was in a good spot.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, like you think I'm gonna sit here and just like co-sign
She
that
just had a
shit?
problem with an intelligent, articulate black woman, and
that was her last
and
day.
a black man with a black woman. So
Yeah, that was her last day.
Issue. But you get all types sometimes, but you have to. I think your therapist is it definitely has to be a good fit. If it's not a good fit, the therapy is not going to be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right, last two.
Yep.
Give some advice to another couple that will be listening.
Wow. I would say be patient and like stop. Okay. Don't do shit by committee. You know what I'm saying? If you love this person, but understand that this person is going to evolve. Now, be careful. There's a fine line between somebody having potential and being a science project. You're not going to fix somebody. Janae didn't come and fix me. I didn't come and fix Janae.
We had to do
our own work, but we gave each other a platform to do that work safely. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother, God rest her soul, she was like, you know why I like that girl? I said, why? She was like, because she put the color back in your face. I got your smile back. Like, she's good for you. I like her, and I like the way she moves, and I like that little girl she has. So, like, and my grandmother, 17 grandkids, she ain't signed off on one spouse except mine.
Also, Granny.
R.I.P. me, Mar. But yeah, that's what I would say. Be patient and allow your significant other, room to grow into who they will be.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. I think that it's very important to accept and love your partner unconditionally. Now, when I say that, it does not mean struggle love, but what I mean is if you know there's certain personality traits, certain goals. If someone tells you, I don't want to have children, then take that seriously, because that may not change. These are things that you have to know what you sign up for, and you have to be accepting of that, and know that that's just who that person is. They have the right to live to their full potential, and if reaching their goals or their dreams means like not having kids, or I want to live in a certain neighborhood, or if you are a person who is very outgoing and you want to travel the world but your partner doesn't, that's going to be a problem.
For real,
it's going to be a problem. If someone is okay, making this much, and one person may be just really ambitious, that might become a bit of a problem, because you're going to kind of do this.
Yeah.
If you can find that common ground, that's okay.
Yeah.
But for some people, it's going to be a problem. So I think you have to be ready and willing to do the work. But doing the work doesn't mean it should be hard. If something is too hard, it ain't for you. Right. This is not for you. If your relationship feels like damn work, and you tired and fatigued and just toe it from the floor with it. It's that's probably not the person you're going to be with for the long haul, because you have to put in work, but relationships should not be
slave labor. Shouldn't feel like slave labor.
Right.
People. So if you're feeling like it's hard, then I would say either bye-bye or try to do therapy, and maybe there could be some breakthroughs there. But if that ain't working, sometimes you just gotta say you say la vie. Bye-bye.
Gotcha. All right, last one. What does love mean to you?
Wow. I'm gonna let you go first.
What was the question?
What does love mean to you?
Love means to me, just like what we had, like I feel like he's my friend. Yes, he's my lover, he's my husband, but he's my friend. Like we cackle like we the homies. Like we could play cards, we could drink. I could do things in front of him that I probably would not do it like anywhere. Like we could be in the store and I just give him that look. He knows exactly what I'm talking about without any words coming out my mouth. Like I like remember that movie Us, when they say like you're tethered. I feel like we are like, I do honestly. I feel like we're tethered because no one gets me the way he gets me, and we'll just crack up sometimes because He was like, yo, like, like you really get it. Like, I can't believe I was thinking the same thing. Like, who you gonna do that with? Like,
Nobody.
if something happening tomorrow, that would be like that feeling of being able to rock, and I could put on my baseball cap, like I could come down here and not have a lick of makeup, be busted, and this man will still take my chin and give me a kiss and tell me how beautiful I am. Like come on, man. Like I just can be like
I'm just trying to figure out when you came down the steps busted. When was that?
You know what I mean?
Girl and bi.
In my terms. but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just be me. I love that about our relationship.
No,
I think that's what love is, just to feel that comfortable and that unconditional. Is there's no real judgments or anything there?
No, like love for me is somebody that would give everything for you and not really worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If she need it, she got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I say it ain't tricking if you got it. I'm not a trick. I'm her husband. Like, it's part of the fucking job. If you're a lifeguard and you can't swim, get the fuck out the pool, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I'm here to make sure that she is great. And you know what I'm saying? Like, any love that's not black love, God bless you. But there's nothing on this planet, you know, that is better than what I have. And listen, look, I haven't seen the world. Nope, nothing. That feeling like I told you, that feeling I got when I was 17, only have it with her to this day. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I love whoever love is love. I'm here for you. But like for me, black love is the greatest thing that we could ever do. I think it's not only
Especially
a political decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It is a statement. You're speaking on how you feel about your mother, how you feel about your father, how you feel about, you know, your race. You know what I'm saying? And for me, like, I have a safe place to be myself for the very first time in my entire life. I feel okay with being who I am unapologetically. I don't have to be what the industry tells me to be. I ain't got to be what my mommy tells me to be. I ain't got to be what my daddy's vision of my life was. I get to be Dave Anderson, and whoever Dave Anderson is right now is okay. And he's not who he was last year, and he's not who he's going to be next year. So that's love, and love is Janae, and she is everything, and everything is her.
Song.
You know, that's how I feel.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all made it through. It was so
Hey!
I want to thank y'all for letting me come through, take this journey with you through your love, your black love.
Yeah.
And before we get out of here, if you want, you know, sell yourself, go ahead to my 58 listeners.
58 is a great show. What you talking about? Listen, some of them people is black women. Black women, tell you something. First of all, Janae has this thing called the I Love My Curls box. And I'm going to tell y'all this. Y'all can go and get that and get the book. The book is actually in the box. It has a bamboo comb. It has a bamboo brush. It has hair tea, hair butter. It has t-shirt. It's an amazing box. You can get it for your little girl or anybody who has issues with their hair and their self-esteem. And this book is absolutely phenomenal. You can go to ilovemycurlsbox.com and get the box right now. You want to get that box. Listen, I'm telling you. Magical, you feel me? So there's that. As far as I'm concerned, man, like y'all see what I do. I'm gravy and rice, no beef. If you want to do something and build out your situation, you know, you can go to freegamealert.com, or if you're trying to do all the technical stuff but you don't know shit about tech, you can go to bullyai.com. That's the company I bought. I just took it over. We renamed it bullyai.com. You can get your website. You can get a bot. You don't need those Facebook bots. So yeah, man, we're gravy over here. We're always moving. We're always making things happen. And, you know, we're excited, man. We're excited and we're thrilled to be here. And we thank you for the platform. And, you know, we're thrilled that you're out here celebrating black love, bro.
Thank you. Make sure my daughter check this out. Give us some game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That's what it is.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
All right.
See you around.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. See you later.
Bye. See you. That's what it is, y'all. Just finished up this live podcast thing. You know what I mean? I'm the host, handsome guy named William. I'm out here changing the narrative, restoring the feeling, one relationship at a time. Yo, check this out. Weekly, Sundays. I'm dropping on Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, that Google Alexa shit. All that, yo, wherever. Holla at me. Peace.